Hello everyone. Welcome to my 100 subscriber special. Thank you all for tuning in. This is what I'm doing. I am doing a tier list on the Uncanny Mr. Incredibles and the Canny ones. We've been growing so fast. Thank you so much. And I guess let's get right into it. So there's this first one. I guess we'll start off with the Uncanny. This is the first one. It's the stock image with the music playing in the background. And this one's kind of hard. Actually, it's not. This one's a B. It's kind of the average one. And it doesn't do much. It's pretty self-explanatory. But then this next one, I'm gonna give it an A tier. The reason being, it does a really good job at portraying the neutral face. Like the blank expression, like, oh, it is what it is, I don't care type attitude. And yeah, that's that. Then there's this third one. This is the second one with black and white pasted onto it, and it's distorted. This one, it's really tough to decide because it it's like it does a decent job at portraying it, but also it's like the music just sounds kind of weird. So I think I'm gonna give this a B, but slightly below the average. Then there's this one. This is that weird, like someone pasted a serial killer's face onto the thing, and it's this one. It's not bad, but like it I don't know. Like if you've seen that other version, like the other template, like it looks literally like a mask, and this one didn't do a terrible job at that, at making it look like the actual face, but it still looks kind of off, and for that reason, it's a C. But this one is my favorite one up to this point. It's not going to get an S tier. I'm reserving that for something else. But I think it does a really good job at conveying since this meme is all about like going into darker and darker layers. This one did a good job at like taking things to the next level. Like the scream in the background, the really realistic texture. I don't know. I think it just did really well. As for this next one, this is basically I guess you could argue it's a mixture between this and this, but I'm torn between C and D because like yeah, it's it kind of makes sense, but also it it kind of does a bad job. Like this one, the scream, like it sounds like fear. This one, it sounds more like pain, like an animal screaming, if you've ever heard it. So I'm gonna put it in C, but last. Like you could probably talk me into saying it's D in 2 seconds. Which leads me to this one. This one doesn't quite make that cut. It goes in D. The reason being, it and actually, what am I saying? Yeah, this goes in D, and it's because like it doesn't do a good job at like adding to the layers. Like it's just this face but more dark. And then the sound, I've actually listened to the original one. It's really cool. But like he made it quiet. I literally thought it was a guy coughing when the first time I heard it. So it goes in D tier. Then we got this one. This one, I'm gonna put it, it's good, but not quite A tier. The reason being, it's it like if you've ever heard that siren like noise that it does, like it sounds like you're in a terrifying place, but also the art, like the way it's like faded out, just makes it look really weird. So yeah, that's my choice with that. Then we got the skull. The skull. Hmm, okay, so the skull is pretty good at like the phase of like death. Like there's no hope left. With whatever's going on. Like this is an absolute disaster. Which it did a good job conveying it, but like I think it could have. I don't think it quite makes the level of these, and I think it's just. I'm gonna say it's better than this. Actually, it's slightly better. But then the we got the depressed troll face, which is where the main part ends. Everything after this is the extra ones that you see probably pretty often. And this one, I'm gonna put it in A, but last. I think that it does a it when it's the last one, it fits really well because it's like this really depressing music of like you're just accepting your terrible fate of whatever it is. But when you add the extra ones into it, it kind of becomes stale. So to average it out between the two, I'm gonna say it's A, but last. Then we got this thing. This one I didn't really like. It's not that good in my opinion. Like you can sort of see it as like the evolution from this, but I don't know. I just think it didn't do a super good job. It did better than this, but I don't know. It just it's kind of weird, and the music is just odd. Then we got this one, which in my opinion is probably the worst. Or mm, yeah, I'm gonna say this is the worst one. It's it's just really out of place, especially considering it's in the middle of these troll faces. The Wojak, if you know what that is, and it doesn't do a good job at, you know, it really stands out, and it doesn't really add anything, in my opinion. But then this one, I'm gonna say this is the. Mm, I'm gonna go with B, but last because it doesn't really add a whole lot, but at the same time, it does add. I feel like a sort of element to it. Like if you notice, like first here he's depressed, then here he's like losing his mind, I guess, and then maybe I guess you can argue that this one is like a further descent into hell or something, and then you get this, which is like the going down into the deeper abyss or something. Uh, I don't know, but then you got this one. I think this one did a good job because it's sort of like before you're just like creeping along a dark hallway or something, and then like this comes out and jump scares you. That's what I thought of the first time I saw the transition from this to this. But then we get this skull. This one, it does not add much. It really doesn't. It's a bit of an odd transition. I'm gonna say it's slightly better than this, but like it it literally copies the music from the other skull, and it just it's very out of place. It's very stale, and yeah, that's my take on that. Which then brings me to this Dark Eyes guy. I'm gonna say this is the best B tier because it sort of does a good job at like you don't know what's coming next type of thing. Like if you've seen those horror movies with like the flashing eyes, like it sort of conveys that in a way. And it just does, I think it just does a decent but not good job at making its mark on the layer, or on, yeah, on the slideshow, I guess. Which brings me to this. This is the S tier. This is the sole S tier. Spoiler alert for this, I guess. But but this one I think does an excellent job at doing its job. It's the second to last one. It's sort of like the exposure before, or the creeping exposure before the final layer, and it I think it just does like a really, really good job. Like the way you can only see half the face. I know this isn't actually a face. I know where this came from, but still, just looking at it, like it just fits so well for what it was designed to do, and I can't really say much more. But then this last one, the thing with the Russian lullaby, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put it here because it does a good job. Like this is like the face of death, or if you want to call it that, and and you know, like horror faces. Like I do think that out of these ones, the ones on this tier list, this is definitely the creepiest one. So it does a good job. Not quite as good as like this or the troll face that I talked about before, but it leaves its mark. And yeah, so let's move on to the Canny. So it didn't include the neutral face, but I would have placed that similarly. So this one is kind of obvious what you'd expect. I think the texture on this is a little bit different. Yeah, it's more saturated, but same idea. Go back to my go back to where what I said before if you want to get a description. Then you got this one. It's um the like, if you like, you notice he has a raised eyebrow on this one, so he's like mildly excited. I'm gonna say this is an A tier, and because it does a good job at portraying what it's supposed to do. Like it's like this is good, but not amazingly good. And the background sort of assists with that. Like, oh, these party colors, like it's a celebration, but not the the massive party. I don't know. It's hard to. It's weird to put these slides into. It's weird to describe these slides. But then we got this second one, which is the distorted smiling face and bulged out eyeballs. I'm gonna say this one is a B tier. It makes sense, but you know, it's kind of just meh at its job. Like it does what it's supposed to do, but but yeah, you get my point. I bet. So then that moves us on to the sunglasses one. I'm gonna say this is a C tier. I like it overall, but the issue is, like, if you notice, he's making the same face here that he was in the other one, and like I guess like the sunglasses maybe means he's a little bit happier than this, but I feel like you can argue that this looks happier than this, if that makes sense. But this next one, the one with the rock music playing in the background, I forgot what it's called. This one, I'm gonna say B, better than this, and the reason why it's better than this is because, like, you can tell, like, he seems to be having a really good time, which is, you know, the point of this. And you know, like the smile on the face makes it look like he's actually, you know, having a good time more than this one I was talking about before. And yeah. Then there's this one, the inverted colors light party lights one. This one hmm, I'm gonna say it's just an A. You know, it's not too spectacular, but I think overall it did a good job at doing what it needed to do, and so because like because like if you've ever seen someone like you've ever taken a picture of someone when there's like all those crazy party lights going on, and like you catch them in a shot like this, it looks like they're having a really good time. Uh, so so that's why I put that as high as I do. This next one, I'm gonna say it's B. The first time I saw this, I kind of thought it was like a weird, almost uncanny one in a way because like he's making this evil-looking face, and but at the same time, he looks like he's like really having a ball or whatever. And the sunglasses are off. I don't know how I don't know whether having sunglasses on would make this better or worse. Maybe someone could Photoshop, or maybe I could try it sometime. But is uh, this one is really good, or moderately good. It's yeah, moderately good, I guess, is what you call B tier for this. But then this next one, we are back up to A tier, and the reason I say that, actually, no, this is actually an S tier. Because I think it does a similar performance level to what this ghost thing did here, where, like, the whole thing I was talking about, the second to last thing, the epic bore almost reveal of the final thing, even though we'll get to this in a minute. Um, like it's like he's so happy he's like about to explode like he is here, and like he's got those laser eyes, or like the deep fried distortion, and so it just like you see this and you know that it was it's supposed to be the big the big follow up, I guess. Which brings me to this. I'm gonna say this is A, but I'm gonna say slightly weaker than these two at doing its job. Because, okay, so it has that psalm that Heart of Courage is the name, for those of you psalm nerds. But like it does a good job at being the antithesis to the skull one back here. But at the same time, it actually is a little bit better in a way, because like it's like he's going unlimited power type vibes, and like he's so happy that like he can no longer contain it, like he's reaching euphoria. Now now what I talked about with these two discounts this phase, which I haven't forgotten about, don't worry. So here's the thing. This one this last one actually wasn't originally in the meme, if I remember correctly. I remember when I first started watching these, like, shortly after they came around, and I don't think this one was there at the very beginning. Like someone added it a few days later, and then it sort of became there. Like, I've seen this one used like maybe half the time total, but I consider this one a part of the meme overall, and I would say it's a B tier. Like, it's good. Like, it does a good job at like showing like he's officially become God. I think this is that biblically accurate angel, for those of you who don't know. And it's it sort of proves the point. I think there was another picture someone made as like an alternative to this that I liked better. And if that ended up being the main one, I'd maybe put it in A or even S. But this one, it's good. Not great, but good. And well, obviously, all of these are pretty good by regular meme standards. This is more by this Uncanny Canny Mr. Incredible standards, uh, which um, which I think this is like one of the best memes there's ever been. But this one, it it proves its point, but not super well. And that's it. So that's my opinion on all the different Uncanny slash Canny Mr. Incredible phases. I know I could. There's maybe some other things I could add. Like I know there's more extra phases that exist out there, but they're kind of minor in comparison. And I'm not gonna waste like make a 30-minute video ranking stuff like this. Uh, so so this is it. This is the 100 subscriber special. Thank you to all who watch. We've been growing so fast, like I said at the intro. And I have another big project coming. It might take a while. This is going to be longer than any video I have done in the past. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, have a good one, guys.